What's up YouTube? Capital G here. I once said a few weeks back that extra linking was officially dead in Yu-Gi-Oh! Thanks to some of the new anti-link support that Konami revealed in Dark Neostorm. But however, that was before Konami decided to give us some new Cloudian support in 2019 that lets you summon this little bugger about 9 times in your first turn. You guys know about the new Cloudian Aerosol. That card, if you combine it with the Typhoon, the boss monster, it can actually be utterly ridiculous. You can basically extra link with Cloudians now, and it can be an incredibly strong extra link at that. I'm talking about having Tri-Gate Wizards for negation. You have a couple of Nightmares on field that give your monsters protection, and then of course you get to draw a bunch of cards in your draw phase as long as your extra link stays protected. So you guys will see a nice little example of this. Now this one's going to be a little weird because he's playing against Trickstars, and this is kind of like a Trickstar deck out variant, not like a burn variant. You can see he's already got his card destruction ready. He's like, Cap, I'm gonna deck this guy out. He's playing side effects and all this stuff. Now one of the cool things about this is, right, as opposed to something like, you know, the Agent of Venus, right? Where Venus can summon your 3 Shine Balls from your deck, which is fine. The problem is if anything ever happens to your Shine Balls, you're basically SOL. Like, let's just say you're going against Trickstars and, you know, you're going second and maybe Trickstars banish a couple of your Shine Balls in your opening hand. The Venus loses a lot of its utility, but because these Smoke Balls can be summoned from your deck or from the graveyard, and obviously your Cloudian monsters are not hard once per turn, you can just use the same Cloudian monster. Like, you can use the same Smoke Ball over and over and over again if your Smoke Balls get banished or something like that. If a couple of copies somehow are taken out of the game, he's going second once again. Gets hit with that present card into reincarnation, into double side effects. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that deck out duel on my channel where greed was, you know, one of the central themes of the duel, but I did say if your opponent ever activates side effect on you, like they're almost certainly trying to deck you out, don't take 3 cards like a dummy. Just take 1 card because your opponent is basically giving you free advantage. Don't go nuts, otherwise you end up decking out. So he is going to, you know, wisely just take a couple of cards, and one of his Smoke Balls does unfortunately get banished, but you can see he actually drew straight into the combo. Now, he can't do any battle damage here because his opponent did use Wabaku. Again, it's a table 500 version of Trickstar, so just kind of disregard that. But he does have the 3-card combo here. He has the Cloudian Aerosol. He has the best card in his entire deck to actually to pitch with it, which obviously is your Eye of the Typhoon. And then he has his Turbulence to hold all the fall counters. So he's going to normal summon it. It gets 1 fall counter. Then he activates the Aerosol. He's going to go ahead and get 8 or 9 counters on it. And now he can basically just fucking spam these Smoke Balls over and over and over again. Now, I probably wouldn't have discarded my 1 day of peace to pop the field spell because who really cares about it at that point? But you can see right here, he still has 7 counters left. By just constantly using the Smoke Ball over and over and over again, you can actually build a full-on extra link. It might not be the greatest extra link ever. Like, it's not going to be nearly as good as Goki's, but it is definitely an extra link. And you do get a Tri-Gate Wizard, and you get some Nightmare monsters. And again, if you get to the next draw phase with your extra link intact, you are going to be able to draw a bunch of cards, especially in a top deck war. Like, it's so ridiculously good. Your opponent activates whatever their top deck card is. You just Tri-Gate, negate it. Your opponent attacks your monsters. Although he was kind of trolling there, I'm not sure why he attacked in the Tri-Gate Wizard, maybe attack a Link Spider. It wouldn't have mattered, honestly, if he did attack the Link Spider. None of these monsters can be destroyed by battle anyways, so it doesn't matter. They can't be destroyed by card effects because of the Cerberus. And then in your draw phase, you get a couple extra cards just for, you know, just that nice little icing on top. Now, his opponent just scoops it up because he knows, hey, I had 1 shot at trying to deck this guy out, Cap. It didn't work out because he didn't take the side effect baits, but you can see that with the right openings with Cloudians, you can extra link your opponent. And against certain decks like Sky Strikers, this would be basically like GG no Re. Maybe, I don't know, maybe if they had like double copy a Widow Anchor or something like that, they open like that might be okay. But even then, I still feel like they probably would lose. But this was just a nice little display, and I'm sure that this is only the tip of the iceberg, guys. I'm pretty sure that there are going to be even more ridiculous combos as more people start playing this card. So let's go ahead and pause for 1 quick second and check out the deck list. Okay, so this is what the deck looks like on paper. One of the cool things about Cloudians is the fact that the entire archetype is water, so you've always been able able to run Moria Greed. This is a card that if your opponent Ash Blossoms, everything happens at one time, so you don't shuffle the cards back in, then they get the Ash Blossom, and then you don't get to draw the cards. They have to do it at activation, and all this stuff happens, at resolution. But you also have Lucky Cloud. This is one where it says that if 2 or more Cloudian monsters with the same name were summoned that turn, you get to draw 2 cards, and obviously, since you're going to be spamming the hell out of Smoke Ball with that combo, you will be guaranteed to draw some cards. Same thing goes with Pot of Indulgence. And at first I looked at the extra deck and I was like, dude, this is like incredibly Kappa. Why are there multiple copies of all these Nightmare monsters and of all these links? But then it actually does make sense with Pot of Indulgence. Basically, you want to be able to kick your turn off with a draw 2, and it doesn't kind of matter what you banish in your extra deck. As long as you have multiple copies of all of these cards, you should be able to get the extra link going. So, that's just kind of the reason why. I guess you could, if you wanted to, you could throw, maybe a Link Karibo in here. That would be another option because Smoke Ball, your primary Link fodder, is a level 1 monster. So that's just something to think about. Maybe even like a Mistar Boy could possibly be another thing. But I feel like these extra links are pretty good. Now, again, this is kind of just a first rough draft of this build. So I'm pretty sure as, more people test with Cloudians, we will see different builds that are probably a little bit better. But, that'll come down the line.